For the first couple of 10 minutes or so. Where's your phone?
My phone is upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Because I was afraid if it was in the vicinity that it was going to be.
Yeah, it might be. What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, folks? Hey, let me know if sound and audio is good, man. Trying to get this set up was kicking my butt today. How's everybody doing? Robert, my man, how you doing, buddy? Rick is in the house. Meat stall. How are you doing, buddy? All right, sounds like I've got some good sound. I appreciate it, Robert. How's everybody doing? Double D, you back from vacation, man? Hey, Troy, what's going on? Good to see you. Now, I'm here to tell you, Mama's going to be doing all the responding because this laptop is probably a good 5 feet from me. And once I start trimming, it's going to be interesting. What, did I freeze up? Yep.
Is your Wi-Fi off?
All righty. So we'll give them a few more minutes, man, before we get into things. And I don't work well sitting down. Hand me the. Oh no, never mind. It's behind me. I pulled that out already.
You want me to get that or you good?
Get what?
You
No, good.
okay?
James Jones, what's going on, Big Cat? How you doing, buddy? How are you doing? I hope everybody has had a wonderful week to this point, man. And as usual, you've got one more day before that weekend kicks in. One more day. Anybody out there in that heat competing? Neil is in the house. Big Mister's in the house, man. How are you doing today, buddy? Good to see you here. Yeah. Mighty fine. We appreciate you following us, man. Let's hope we can continue to earn your subscription. We appreciate you stopping in. That is awesome. James, man. Right now, I have got the only thing on the calendar, man, right now is the shootout. And I believe I will be doing Q for the Blue. This might be my one and only ever non-sanctioned cook-off, but Q for the Blue is going to be on the calendar. But I don't think there's anything happening in the very near future. Still way too hot, man. Still way too hot. So Mama is going to be reading your questions today or comments. And Mama, you're going to have to come down. That way I can hear your questions and comments because I won't be able to see this computer screen, not while I'm working. And I hopefully there's no feedback with your laptop. We will see shortly.
What did you say to me?
Were you able to hear me?
No, I gotta turn it up. I could just hear you.
I'm saying I'm going to need you to read the questions.
Oh.
So you're going to have to come down here. Yeah. We're still trying to work this out, folks. Mama's at work today. She's only been home like a half an hour or so. So we didn't have time to do a walkthrough like I would have liked. But anyway, man, we're going to get started. Hey, folks, thank you once again for stopping in with Mom and Papa Joe. We totally appreciate these Thursday nights, man. We look forward to them. We love the conversation that we have with you guys and gals. Again, if you're new into the chat, please don't hesitate to let us know where you're from, what you're all about, and get ready to meet some awesome folks. So today's the plan. Today's plan is that we're going to talk a little bit about 1855, the Ambassador Program, 1855 Black Angus Beef. A couple of months ago, one of my buddies sent me a message, a link that he had received or he had found, or whatever the case might be, that 1855 beef were looking for ambassadors. And of course, there was an application process, and you got to tell heroic stories about yourself, what you're able to do for these folks, what kind of following you have, what kind of social media presence you might have. So Mom and I talked about it, and I was like, hey, what the heck? The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't happen. Well, long story short, we are here today. We received notification maybe a month or so ago that we were accepted into this new group of ambassadors. And we received our first care package. That's what I call it. It's a package with 2 pieces of meat, but almost weighing, that package almost weighing 40 pounds. So pretty excited, man. They're beautiful cuts of meat. One of them is a strip loin, a New York strip loin, weighing just about 15 pounds. And the second one is a brisket, pushing 20 plus pounds. And this is my first time ever getting my hands on 1855 beef. I've seen it on social media in the past, but I finally got my hands on some, and I'm here to tell you folks, very impressive piece of meat. They're prime, but man, they're impressive primes. And as I look at the brisket that was sent, it's almost like they know what I'm looking for when I go selecting a brisket. It meets all my specifications. If I was competing right now on a regular basis, that brisket will definitely be in the competition rotation. But so I'm going to save that one for something significant. If there's a cook-off that's going to be coming up shortly, maybe I'll use that one. If not, it's going to be for one. We have some special friends, and we're going to be looking to try to show that off. But we're going to take a look at those pieces of meat shortly. Just let me see.
Okay, so some of the questions, Neil is asking, what are you sipping on tonight?
Oh, Neil, Mama's getting my cognac. That Remy Martin bottle is just about the bottom. Actually, Mama brought home yesterday a bourbon that's aged in cognac barrels. So she's going to be bringing that shortly, and that is what I'm going to be sipping on tonight. I'm not the biggest bourbon fan, but if it's aged in cognac barrels, I think it's going to have some special qualities, man. Jordan, how you doing, buddy? How are you doing this evening? So I've got 2 cameras hooked up to this program today, and man, it was a headache trying to get them to sync and not getting any feedback or something along those lines. But I think we've managed to do it. So once again, folks, Mama is going to be reading and responding in terms of writing as I'm working. Any questions or comments, Mama will hit me up, and I will definitely respond to those questions and comments. This chair was just for my initial intro. So let me start getting ready.
Thompson, hello.
What's up, Tomas? How are you doing, buddy? You know, I am not much of a butcher. So you see me making any mistakes, be sure to point me in the right direction.
Looks like we have a new viewer in the chat.
Okay.
You don't know Jack, J-A-K.
Yeah, I've been talking to J.K. You don't know Jack. Yes, sir? Let's see what we've got going today. So folks, I've got this beautiful brisket, man, is, of course, it's frozen. I've got the strip loin thawed. But man, look at this hunk of meat right here. And you're not going to be able to see it the way I'd like for you to see it. But, you know, normally when we get briskets, we're looking for marbling, and we can see those long streaks of marbling throughout the average brisket, whether it be a Wagyu, whether it be prime, whatever the case might be. We can see those long streaks. What is different about this brisket is those streaks are not thick and long. I mean, they're like in 1/4-inch pieces, and they're skinny, but there's thousands of them just mixed in with the meat. Unlike the regular briskets that I see, you know, there isn't a separation between the fat, the marbling, and the pink meat. Right here, those two are together. It's just everywhere. Lots of little pieces.
CJ, can you tell the name of the meat sponsor again?
This is 1855 Black Angus beef. You can go ahead and Google that, 1855 Black Angus. I don't know much besides what I researched and read. They are a group out of they're cattle raised in the Great Plains, Nebraska, Iowa. Daddy Dutch, do you know anything about them? That might be your neck of the woods. But that's the only area where the beef is raised, and they've got some exacting specs, you know, to cattle ranching, to the way their cattle are raised, all the way down to color. If you take a look at this flat end is over 2 inches, folks. This flat end is over 2 inches. All right. This is supposed to be the thin end. This is supposed to be the thin end. And that is over 2 inches. I mean, I've been looking at briskets over the last 6 months, and I haven't ran across anything like this. And once again, you know, it's almost as if they knew me, the way they were able to handpick this. So as you can see, it clearly says 1855 Black Angus. I'm not sure what this number is about. But again, it's a beautiful piece of meat, man. The scale that I have only goes up to like 15 pounds. I don't keep human weighing scales in the house because I don't need to know that. but again, beautiful piece of meat. And I think when the time comes to cook this piece, this brisket, I'm going to prep it live just so you guys really get a great idea of what that marbling is like. Beautiful piece of meat. Any questions about this brisket? So with 1855, all their briskets are upper 2/3 choice and or prime, nothing less. And if you're not aware of that upper 2/3 name or area or category. Beef is graded in, I believe, high, medium, and average in terms of marbling. And 1855 cattle, 1855 beef only come from the top two. And that's where you get that upper 2/3 from. So I'm going to get this back into the freezer. I don't want it sitting out any longer than it has to.
Got a couple questions for you.
All right.
Mighty Fine, P-H-I-N-E. Are you going to trim some of the fat off before smoking? Mighty Fine.
Mighty Fine wants to know, would I trim some of the fat off before smoking? I absolutely will. Trimming that fat, trimming that brisket is therapy for me. So I absolutely will. And like I said, I'm going to do that live. I'm going to do that live. Here's to you guys. Hope you're having a great week and an even better weekend.
How you like that bourbon?
That was my first sip, and it tastes pretty good. So what we're looking at here is a full New York strip, a strip loin. Weighs approximately 14.2 pounds. Beautiful. Again, nicely marbled. This one we're going to cut into because we will be doing some trimming and cutting into steaks. Like I told you up front, I am no butcher. I am new to handling, processing large pieces of meat like this one, but I don't think it should be that difficult. Let's see if we can't get this open without making a mess.
Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline says good evening.
What's happening, Stephen? How you doing, buddy?
And CJ, you may want to share when these briskets came and where we were.
You know, it's a bit of a story. After 1855 informed me that I was chosen or accepted or approved, whatever you want to call it, they asked me, at what time, what day would you like your first package delivered? They said because it takes them about a month to get your meat ready. So I assume that includes, butchering, processing, and then they do some aging, and then they'll send it out a month later. So I said, anytime right around the end of July. I looked at my calendar and I knew we were headed to North Dakota. Long story short, my neighbor calls us. My neighbor, female, calls mama and says, "Hey, there's a package on your door, says perishable. We brought it over to the house." And I was like, wow. The only thing I was expecting perishable was from 1855, but it was almost 10 days early. So the neighbor had to grab that package for us, open it up, and then find room in her freezer for 38 pounds of meat, give or take. So pretty interesting. So folks, we're going to be trimming and then slicing this piece of meat, this beautiful piece of meat, into steaks. And I think these steaks, I want them to be in the neighborhood of give or take 1.75 inches. Now, let me just show off some of the things I learned recently, like in the last 3 days, referencing a strip loin. You know, you've got two different ends. You're going to have an end of your strip loin where the meat is nice and clean. It's one piece. And apparently this end comes from the area closest to the ribeye on that animal. The opposite end has a couple of different muscles, and it comes from the sirloin. So you see 1, 2, 3 different muscles from the sirloin end. And those who are in the know, those who deal with this on a daily basis, they call this the tough end. They said that you might go 4 inches in and then cut that off and then braise this piece of meat like you would a pork butt or a brisket or something along those lines. But there are lots of people that I saw on social media that cooks it just like regular steaks. So I have decided yet what we're going to do. So you've also got some issues on the side, and I don't know how well you're able to see it. On one side, on the back side, is going to be a tough line of, it looks like connective tissue. I mean, really tough. I don't know if you're able to see it shining, but I can feel it. And that will have to be removed because that is pretty much inedible. And then on the opposite side is just thick fat that's going to be removed.
You know, James is asking what kind of meat is it again?
This is a New York strip, a strip loin. This is the area where the bones from the ribs would be attached. And you can see some of the indentations left. This might be a piece of bone right there. Don't know how well you're able to see it, but we're going to get at it. So first thing we want to do is just try to gently remove some of this. And I can definitely feel and hear it. Nobody wants to eat this right here. So we're just going to clean up this. I'm going to call this the meat side. Get rid of these little remnants from the ribs. If you're into sausage making, if you're into anything where these scraps could come into play, then you can clean them up further. Remove this connective tissue, and then you would have little scraps that you can use. Doggy treats. I know my doggy Trooper loves that. He's sitting right under me right now, waiting for something to fall. So again, you really want to check this this meat side for little bone fragments, because I can definitely see that happen. How thick do you guys like your steaks? How thick do you think I should cut these steaks? There's an area, butchers call this a chain, and you can see it. It's going to be maybe an inch off of one of the sides, but you can see the natural seam in there. All right, you can almost pull it apart, and I can pull it apart with my hand, that I am going to remove. But butchers call this the chain. I'm not sure how well you're able to see it, but right here. So I learned something new getting ready for today. So I am going to remove the chain. It's tough. It's got some sinew. Whoa. But again, very tough piece of meat. And if you're into, again, these trimmings, you can definitely take that off, save the good stuff. This will be great for burgers, stir fry, anything else along those lines. Beautiful piece of meat. The rest of it is pretty much just fat. And if I haven't mentioned it yet, folks, I don't have fancy knives, but I do have sharp knives. All right. You don't need the $300 knife, especially if you can't afford them. But whatever knife you have, man, make sure that they are sharp and they're going to get the job done. That's beautiful. All right.
CJ Bean said to ask Tom, how long will the stall be on the set?
Beautiful. All right, you're also going to have some areas on the opposite side. Again, same thing. You've got a seam, and you can see how ragged it is. So I want to get everything off from this seam. And man, you can see that this is going to be some decent meat. Now, if you were one of those and wanted to cook your steak with all this on there, you totally could. But I am just a fan of good clean edges. And not having those good clean edges would really annoy me. But man, that's not fat, that's cartilage. So again, lots of good meat on this that I'm going to take some time to clean up and get off. But this type of stuff, I don't know if you can see it shining. This tissue is not going to be a pleasant chew.
Sleeper.
Okay.
Lance said stew meat. So could it be used for stew meat?
Yes, it absolutely. Oh, great call, Lance. You could definitely stew it, man. Put it in stir fries. Yeah, I'm going to take some time off camera and make that happen. So just continuing to clean up. You know, it's going to be so much easier to clean this as one piece as opposed to trying to clean individual steaks. So get it done now, save yourself some work. And if you've got access to something like this, buying a piece such as this, man, would really save you some money as opposed to buying, individual steaks. So if you have access, that's the route to go. All right, this meat side looks pretty good.
Steven said, I'm seeing some burgers in the future from the scraps.
Oh, totally. That's what we do with our brisket scraps. We make burgers. So yes, I can definitely see burgers. Now, I'm not going to mess too much with the fat cap. What I will do is when we get ready to cook these steaks, at that point, then I will trim the fat cap down to an acceptable thickness. But I am not going to do it to start. So I'm going to cut these steaks. Did anybody tell me what size they want their steak? Bueller? Anybody? What's great? You're going to cut a piece of meat like this. You want a knife that's going to be longer than this piece of meat. This is the fanciest knife that I have. This is a Chillin. And it was given to me. That is how I ended up with it. It was given to me. All right, so what I want to do, folks, as I get ready to start slicing, I want to make sure that my ends are even. All right, so I'm just going to clean this up. That way I'm getting nice, beautiful, symmetrical steaks. Same thing here.
Stephen said 1.5 to 1 3/4 inch thick.
Stephen, that sounds like the plan. I am looking at 1 3/4 for sure. Yeah.
Leah says, I guess I'm going to eat what you put in front of me, but I prefer 2 inches if you're He said he bought a meat slicer just for this purpose.
Yeah, all right, that's cool. A meat slicer. That's something that's missing from our arsenal.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that is something that's missing from our arsenal, a meat slicer. Do I want to slice fat cap up or do I want to slice fat cap down? That burger is pretty good, Mom.
Thank you.
Let's go this route. So we want some good, clean cuts. So the idea, you don't want to do too much back and forth sawing. You know, you pretty much want to try to pull or push and not go both ways if you're looking at good, clean cuts. I don't know. 2 fingers.
Sleeper said up and CJ said up.
Yeah. I think 2 fingers is going to work. And it's natural that you want to saw. Yeah, it's kind of natural that you want to saw. So I don't know.
Stephen is saying, not sure, but would it be better to cut it partially frozen?
You know, I thought about that, but then I wasn't sure what kind of trim you would get if you did it that way, Stephen. Yeah, I thought about that. All right, that's not a bad looking steak. So 2 fingers. Oh yeah, this steak has some nice marbling too. Yeah, we're gonna get at it. Oh, my knives are good and sharp.
That said, CJ, I'll take my steak mid-rare.
Double D, you will get what I cook. Now that's how I take my steaks too, man. They gotta be medium rare. Yeah, they gotta be medium rare.
And we'll get that shipped right over to you.
Yeah. Double D, you're in the land of cattle, man. You are in the land of cattle. I should be calling you to get some beef.
Oh my God.
So you know there's going to be a steak video coming up in the next few weeks. You just know that.
Luigi Nelson also said medium rare for me too, please. Have you heard that name before?
No, that is a new. Yeah, that is a new name. Eugene, we appreciate you stopping in, baby.
CJ Bean said you got some pretty meat. Laugh out loud.
That's what she said.
That says I have an awesome pork supplier and a wagyu farm 40 miles away.
Lucky you. Lucky you, Double D. I'm definitely a fan of Wagyu, man. Definitely a fan of Wagyu. Mm-hmm.
He says, does Kent know? Did you mention since Kent got on in the chat that this came from his area?
No, Kent. These 1855 Double D, these 1855, man, come from the Nebraska Iowa region. I'm not sure if you were here when I mentioned that.
CJ, when you slice it, hold one directly up under the camera so they can get a real close up and see the marbling.
So now as we're starting to get into that tougher end, we're starting to see some of the cartilage and some of the other stuff that you really don't want in a steak. So as I was to process this, as I was to finish trimming before cooking, I'll probably remove all of that just to make sure that I was only serving my guest or mama quality meat. This one right here is not going to give me 3. So these two are going to be thicker. I'm going to just cut these 2, make 2 out of this chunk right here. Oh, these are going to be 2 beasts. Yeah, these are going to be beastly.
And that's it. He'll take that in piece.
Yeah.
You can bring it up just a little bit.
So just a little bit. Oh yeah. This is just straight. You can see that shine, that connective tissue, a tendon. There you go. That's it. A tendon. Same thing here. CJB, I wouldn't even serve you that tendon. Oh yeah, that's gotta go.
Chris L just joined us.
Chris, what's happening, baby? Folks, that does not look too bad, man, for a rookie, for a novice. This totally works. And like I said earlier, before cooking something like this, I would just trim down, thin out a little bit. But man, I love how pretty these are, these strips. And what's great about them, they make for a great presentation after cooking. The short slices right across, man, a little chimichurri or some sort of herb butter on top. They're gonna make for some good eats and some pretty nice pictures. So what did I end up with? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, about 1.75 inches. Yeah, about 1.75 inches. So, folks, I don't know, but if I'm not mistaken, that 1855 program runs pretty much year round, man. And again, what's the worst thing that can happen is that they said, not right now. We'll keep you in mind. Go check out their website. Go check out their products. The application is there. I mean, it won't cost you anything but a couple of minutes to fill out. And the idea here, man, is that you're just going to try to help spread their brand using your social media. I think it's well worth the little 5-10 minutes it's going to take you to get that application knocked out. All right, so we're going to have a steak out. We're going to have a steak party. Invite only. CJ Bean, don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. All right, let's see.
James Jones said, when are you cooking again?
It's the only thing on the calendar, James, is September. Yeah, we're cooking in September. Other than that, there isn't much on the calendar. September. Let's see. 805 is in the house. What's happening, buddy? Jorge, my man. Am I getting a video tomorrow, Jorge? It's been a little while now. I know you, John, and Trumpet Master talk about y'all so tired from the competition that you can't do a video. You need to take a break. So I'm looking for a video tomorrow. So what do y'all think, folks? Did I make this happen or what? Nice marbling, man. Like I said, good 1.75 inches. Before cooking, I'm going to trim this down. So what I want to do right now is pretty much just bag these, vacuum seal them. And if you happen to be one of those individuals without a vacuum sealer in your house, I don't know how you get by. I do not know how you get by. So I am going to do these 2 to 8 bags. And I want to make sure that they're pretty much the same size, pretty much the same shape. And man, they're pretty close. Yeah. So not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, not going to be an issue.
Jorge said Ziploc bags.
No. Ziploc bags will cost you in the long run, Jorge. Yeah, they will cost you in the long run, man, because they don't seal like these will. They do not seal like a vacuum sealer will. And I will tell you, that vacuum sealer right there, we've had I don't know, 10 years, man, and it gets lots of use. And knock on wood, still going strong. Yeah, still going strong. Yeah, I got to keep an eye on Trooper because he's right under me. And Trooper will walk away with a piece of meat. There's a second shelf on this table right here. There's a second shelf. And I don't know, 3-4 months ago, I was doing a lamb chop video. And I had 2 racks of lamb chops. One of them I was going to keep whole, and the other one I was going to slice into 8 individual chops. So to make room, I put the sliced lamb chops on the second shelf. And I went on working, filming with the whole lamb chop, the whole rack. Long story short, I went under the shelf for my my individual lamb chops, and 2 were missing. You know, I'm looking all in the sink. I'm looking, trying to find it, and still nothing. And right across from me, we've got hardwood floors. I hear a racket, like something rattling. So I go over there, man, and Trooper is fighting with a lamb chop bone. He had walked away with 2 of my lamb chops right from underneath me on that second shelf. So I've been very, very careful ever since as to what I put on that second shelf. All right. So give me a second. Let me get some cleanup done right here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to make for some good eats. Oh, Mama, bring me that extension, please.
Extension?
Yeah. All right, who's cooking what this weekend? I've been talking all the good stuff about this. Watch it not work. Nice, nice. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have one of these, you need one. I'm telling you, the uses you get out of it, things like, you're able to save barbecue. And then all you need is some hot water to warm that, to rewarm that barbecue. And man, it comes off the pit almost as if, it comes out of that hot water almost like as fresh as off the pit when you reheat in warm water as opposed to the oven or the microwave. So this is the way to go.
And you can tell that's how I took the brisket to Ohio, was vacuum sealed.
Yeah, that's how Mama will travel on airplanes, vacuum seal, man. I've had family take meats to Belize in vacuum seal, and they hold very well, as long as this package is not compromised.
And we have vacuum sealed what was it, gumbo and chicken and dumpling that when we had that blizzard that,
Mom is mentioning, was it last year or year before?
I think it was the year before.
Year before last, when Texas had that winter storm that knocked power out for a couple of 4 days. I'm here to tell you, during that 4 day period, we did not skip a beat in terms of quality of meals that we were eating. And that's one of the great things about being a barbecue person. Man, you've got lots of stuff. You keep a good supply of wood on hand, a good supply of charcoal, fuel, outdoor cooking equipment. I mean, I had almost 40 gallons of propane, outdoor stoves. So all we had to do was pull one of these packages out. We had frozen gumbo. We had frozen chicken and dumplings. We had frozen just about everything. All we had to do was heat up some water and rewarm this good stuff. So we didn't miss anything in terms of quality meals.
Mighty Fine said, go ahead.
What did he say?
He said, good, wooga, Bubba, that's killer.
All right, so we ended up with 2 for $10 steaks, and they're totally beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful.
Do you know where Mighty Fine, what area he's out of?
No, I do not.
I assume he.
Yeah, no, I do not. And I just grabbed a paper towel and wiped my forehead because it got a little warm. And this dog got a hold of that paper towel. And if you can see the mess that he's got below me, he would tick you off. Yeah, he would tick you off. So outside of cooking a steak like a steak, what are some of the other things any of you might have done with steak? Outside of cooking it like a steak, whether it be, steak and cheese sandwiches. What are some other things you can do with a steak? I do not know.
Mighty Fine asked, do you date them and indicate what they are before freezing?
Yes. Yes, very important, man, that you put a label on whatever you're going to put in that cryovac, because I guarantee you are going to forget what it was and how long it's been in there. And when it gets all covered in frost and you pull it out, you're like, what in the hell is this? Yeah, so you definitely put a date and write down what is on it.
And Tom says, are you going to bring him a bag and y'all go to lunch tomorrow?
Man, Tom, Tom's got to work. Yeah, Tom is in the office. So is there anybody out there, man, that might be interested in a little 1855 collab?
Tom says he's not tomorrow. He is not working.
No, he's not. All right, so folks, here's some of that good stuff, man, that definitely don't want to go to waste. Yeah. Definitely do not want that going to waste. This is gonna make for some great ground, some awesome burgers. But all this stuff right here, man, I clean up just like as if I trimmed the brisket. If you're in the sausage, then you might be able to use things like this. I am not a sausage maker. I know CJ Bean loves a good sausage. So we're just going to come back now and clean up some of this. Prior to this, I never would have imagined, man, that such a tender piece of meat would come with some of the stuff that's attached to it. Like this right here, look at that tendon. Yeah, look at this tendon. I can pretty much pull that out. Yeah. Look at that. Hey, you can use this as a graft in a human being. I took off my my anti-cut gloves because I'm consider myself finished. Watch me cut myself, man. On live camera. That wouldn't be cool.
Big D's Delaware, he's got to head out, so he's saying good night.
Thanks for stopping in, Big D. We'll see you, man. Hopefully next week. Yeah, hopefully next week.
Mighty Fine was born in Galveston, but now lives in Southern California.
What part of Cali, man? Mighty Fine, what part of Cali? Those are South Central. That's the old haunt, man. It's been a while. Mighty Fine. I went to Manual Arts High School, man, back in the day. You that old line from Friday between Normandy and Western. This is what we call a little 20-20-20. Well, man, I was right there between Normandy and Western.
He's in Riverside County.
Oh, Riverside. All right.
He said, Bubba, you said you were not a butcher, but dude, you cutting that shit up.
Now, I didn't say that I had no knife skills. I just don't have the knowledge that a butcher has. But man, I'm fairly comfortable with knives, man. And once again, firm believer that if you keep your knives sharp and you pay attention to what you're doing, you're going to be okay. More people get themselves in trouble with dull knives than anything else. Dull knives causes you to have to exert more pressure. Therefore, when there's a slip, that knife is under quite a bit of force, and you can't stop on a dime, so to speak. So sharp knives, less pressure, easier cut. It really lessens the chances of you slipping and cutting yourself. I have trimmed I've done events where we've trimmed, 50 briskets, and then with help. I've trimmed 50 briskets, 3-4 of us, and never cut myself once. Immediately after we finish those briskets, I go to wash the knife, relax, mentally, you're sort of just at ease. And washing the knife, I cut my finger.
I did too.
Yeah, and I thought that was pretty stupid. Yeah, I thought that was fairly stupid. So,
I've done it at the competitions when I'm washing the dishes, just curve that finger slightly.
yep. All right, so again, these scraps, man, they are not going to waste. There's still some meat left on those scraps if you were in the sausage. Like I said, I am not in the sausage, man.
Tom says stupid is what stupid does. No steak for you.
Yeah. Yep, Tom, you will not be getting the steak. You will not be getting the steak. I was just thinking, all right, Tom was gonna get one, Bean was gonna get one, Tom, you're not. Yeah, let's forget about that right there.
Oh.
Yeah, let's forget about that.
Robert Benavides,
Mm-hmm.
he said also awesome channel.
Robert, we appreciate your support, man. I'm telling you, you guys don't really know, some days, man, you're like, you put out a video that you're very happy with, and, you get the average amount of views, and for each channel, average is different. And you might be a little disappointed, but then, man, I'll read one of your comments, and I'm like, wow, and it just immediately lifts me up, and I'm ready to get back at it again. So, man, we appreciate the comments. I read every last one of them, good or bad. There haven't been very many bad. They're always good. They're always encouraging. They're always supportive. And I do not have a problem, when guys offer advice. Somebody said, man, I like this, that, but you should try this. And I'm like, man, you know what? That's a great idea. So I'm always open, man. I'm always willing to learn. So any advice you might have from Mom and Papa Joe's, do not hesitate, man. We are wide open. We're looking forward to it. Folks, if you have any questions that you don't want to ask out loud about 1855, hit me up offline, and I will try to give you the best information I have. If not, you could hit up 1855. But definitely be on the lookout for a steak cook in the very near future. We've also got another, what I think is another pretty good video coming out tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that one. Tom Fuentes, do not answer this question. Tom Fuentes, do not answer this question. If any of you out there can guess what the protein that tomorrow's video is going to be, I will send you a hat, Mom and Papa Joe's hat. What is the protein for tomorrow's video?
Drop it in the chat.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. First 5 right answers get hats. Mighty Fire says pork. Yeah, that's a whole category of protein. What is the pork? If it was pork, Sleeper says chicken. CJ Bean, man, CJ Bean, ain't nobody worried about you. Tom, dude, we're supposed to be boys. If you can guess exactly what protein it is, don't tell me pork, don't tell me beef. What kind of pork is it? What kind of beef is it? Or is it seafood? Talk to me. Mighty Fine says he loves some pork butt. I love butt, period, Mighty Fine. So pork butts are definitely in there.
I need a pen. You got a pen over there to write down.
Robert says, Texas half chickens. First 5 right answers. If you got that right answer, you're gonna get it.
Sleeper, Lance said, did you get the stuffing for the rotisserie?
Lance, 5 minutes, 5 minutes before we went live, while I was still struggling to get this setup put together, I got a call from Culebra's Meat Market. So yes, it is in. I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. Now, the only thing is, when I went and ordered, they did not have 20 to 25 pounds. So I ended up with a 36 pounder. I ended up with a 36 pounder. I'm picking it up tomorrow. And I think what I'm going to end up doing, because I wanted to do it on the rotisserie, but 36 pounds is going to be too large for the rotisserie. That rotisserie, I believe, is rated for like 12 pounds. So I'm not going to even try that. But I came up with another idea, and I don't know how well it's going to work. I'm going to probably split it in half, lengthways, and I'm going to try to cook 1/2 on my WSM. What do y'all think about that idea? So a 36 pounder dressed, by the time I knocked off the head and, the bottom portions of the leg, I might end up with, let's say I end up with 15-pound sides, 2 halves, 15 pounds. Do you think that 15-pound lengthwise will fit on a WSM? We're talking a small pig, small hog. What do you think?
CJ, have you ever seen 93 Food Shack in the chat before?
No.
Okay, so I think they're new. They're in the chat tonight.
So that was 93
Food Shack.
All right, 93 Food Shack. I will definitely have to check you out, man. We appreciate you stopping in. Yeah.
So far, nobody has gotten the right protein.
So do you think a half lengthwise, because these animals tend to be long. They might not be very heavy, but they're long. Do you think I'll be able to get a half of a 36 pounder on a 22.5 WSM?
Mm-hmm.
If not, I'm even thinking about cutting that half in half. All right, and putting those 2 halves on there. I'm going to find a way to get it done. I'm also looking for a goat. Yeah, I'm also looking for a goat, Mighty Fine. But I think goats are more expensive than hogs. Yeah. Yeah, I think goats are more expensive than hogs. What would a 20-pound goat cost? A carrito. Anybody out there got any info? What would a 25-pound goat cost? And I know that they're going to be long as well. Steven says it's probably going to be a close fit. I think it will. Yeah, I think it will be a close fit. But like I said, if I cut that half in half, I might be able to get it in there like a jigsaw puzzle. I don't I don't know how well that cook would go, but one way or the other, it might not be pretty, but it will be some good eats. Yeah, it would definitely be some good eats. Tom says save a butt for the rotisserie. Man, I watch 805 do a rotisserie butt that kind of fell apart in the end. So I don't know that I want to do that. Yeah, I don't know that I want to do that.
Hey, CJ, Palchuco just joined us. Let him know what you're drinking.
Hey, Chuco, The wife went out and bought this, man. I don't know how well you're able to see it, but it's a bourbon that's been aged in cognac barrels. You know, I'm a cognac man, so that's what I'm sipping on tonight. ¿Cómo se llama? Se llama Saintie's Alley. Yeah, Saintie's Alley. Never heard of it before, so I don't know what that means or what it's all about, but it's pretty tasty. Yeah, it's pretty tasty. Let's see what else we got.
Still waiting on somebody to get the right answer.
All right, ain't nobody gonna get the answer. So you'll just have to watch that video tomorrow, man. As usual, we're dropping it at 10 o'clock. It was some mighty fine eats. It was some mighty fine eats. Great point, Sleeper. You know, Sleeper has got just that center steak, so to speak, that's fit. Whereas I've got the prongs, I've got the forks. So I might be better able to hold on to a pork butt. But I do plan on putting that rotisserie, man, to some very good use. Very good use. While we're on the topic, Sleeper, when is our video coming out? I told Jorge, I mentioned earlier, all right, you guys taking these breaks. Let's get back to business as usual. Once I fall into a routine, man, I need that routine. Otherwise, my soul isn't at rest. So same thing. Where's Trumpet hasn't shown up, but you, Jorge, John, and Trumpet, no videos. So there's a hole. And then I throw in Steven. Steven, what's going on, baby? Man, how busy are you, Steven?
He's been sick.
Oh, Mama said you've been sick, Steven.
Yeah, he had a real bad sinus infection.
All right. That's probably from that sinus infection, Steven, is probably from lack of smoke. All right. Once your body gets accustomed to that smoke, man, you need it. You absolutely need it. So get back to business as usual. Get back to business as usual. Man, normally right around this time, Darnell wants to show up. All right, so folks, we're going to call it, man. We're at an hour and 13 minutes. I want to thank you guys as usual for tuning in, man, and hanging and celebrating our ambassadorship with 1855. I don't know if that's a word, but we want to thank you guys for stopping in, hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe as usual. Check out our video tomorrow. And in that video, we actually we're using TNT's new mop sauce. And folks, I'm here to tell you, you know, out of the bottle, it's pretty tasty. And it might not, again, we all know how subjective taste is, but out of the bottle, you know, I really enjoyed the taste, and I immediately knew what types of proteins I want to use it on and how I want to use it. And for those of you who've watched our videos, you know I'm not much of a mop or spritz type of guy, but I got in probably 3 different spritzes with that. I was able to strain that. It's not thick. It doesn't have very large granules, but the fact that I know I can clog up my my little spray bottle with anything small. So I strained that out of there, and I was able to mix it. The flavor that I got on that protein was off the chart. That excitement you're gonna hear in that video tomorrow was not faked. It was genuine excitement because that has got some awesome, that mop sauce has got some awesome possibilities and some potential. So be on the lookout for that video tomorrow. You're going to enjoy it. Let me know what you think. Andrew, I think you just timed this right just about every week, Andrew. You time it right. You hop in just about when we're about to shut things down. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't yet gotten you some of that mop sauce, man, go out there and support Thyron. It's a pretty good deal. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy it. So I want you guys and gals to take care of yourselves, and as usual, look out for each other. And Mom and I will see you when we see you. Have a great evening and upcoming weekend.